Hey everybody, Roger here. Hope you guys are all having a great day. I want to talk to you guys today about this event that's been happening for the last couple of days. It's in regards to Carlos Maza. He works for Vox, and basically, in a nutshell, he's basically saying that Steven Crowder for the last 2 years has been attacking him non-stop on his channel. You know, whenever Carlos makes a video for Vox, Steven Crowder and his team go ahead and debunk it. Like, it's really easy to debunk this guy's videos. I mean, there's absolutely no way that you cannot debunk his videos. He says he puts like 4+ weeks thought into these videos. You don't see that in these videos. All you see is just hyperbole, you see assumptiveness, you see speculation. You don't ever see facts delivered. And when Steven Crowder goes and he makes fun of the videos, and he does some fact checks, again, I don't like that word, but he does fact check corrections on his videos, this guy can't rebut it. So he's probably gotten tired of that. I think there's a couple of things going on here, but he's gotten tired of the fact that he can't rebut the facts that Steven Crowder is able to debunk his arguments, because this guy didn't do his homework. He doesn't do his homework, and so from there, you know, he has to think, okay, well, what can I do to get this guy out of my face? Because he's obviously my number one adversary that is constantly critiquing my stuff, and it's making my image look bad. It makes me look like I don't know shit, which is pretty much what it is. So he decides that he's going to report him to YouTube. He does this conveniently when he could have done it in the past 2 years. Supposedly that's been the cycle that Steven Crowder has been supposedly harassing this guy, which again, it's not harassing. He's joking with this guy. He's talking about him. He's saying, "Oh, this gay guy with the lisp." Again, dude, if you say you're gay, other people, whether gay, straight, whatever, or something else, they have a right to say that too. It's a free country. But again, he's basically saying that Steven Crowder is harassing him. He reported him to YouTube. YouTube came back today. Today is June 4th. Came back today and said, we reviewed everything, and thus far there are no violations to any of the TOS. You know, at this point, you know, we're not going to go ahead and take down his channel or anything. It is what it is at this point. So Carlos Maza has gone on a crazy ass Twitter stream after that. He went on a crazy ass Twitter stream before this, but he's doing it much more now, even worse than he was before, still holding his stance, saying, oh, this is how YouTube treats its LGBTQ pi community, and it's allowing this kind of shit to happen. I'm like, well, dude, chill the fuck out. So anyways, I got this article in front of me. I want to read it to you guys. It's from TheVerge.com. YouTube decides that homophobic harassment does not violate its policies. The company sides with edgy commentator Steven Crowder. Well, of course it should. It should. You know, you can't have him, Carlos Maza, being able to say bad things about people that aren't even true, like Tucker Carlson. Right on his Twitter headline, it says Tucker Carlson is a white supremacist. Dude, you're arguing about the things that are being done to you right now, but you're doing it to other people without any validity. Tucker Carlson's not a white supremacist, yet you are a gay man. You are a gay man. You're an openly gay man, and you're very effeminate as well. So, I mean, the jokes just build themselves from there. And anyways, let's go ahead and start this article. YouTube has at last formally responded to an explosive and controversial feud between Vox writer and video host Carlos Maza and conservative YouTuber Steven Crowder. The verdict? YouTube says Crowder did not violate any of its policies, and that Crowder's YouTube channel will stay up. Despite his repeated homophobic slurs, again, these aren't homophobic slurs, the guy is okay with homosexuals. I've watched Steven Crowder off and on throughout the years, and I'm not a big fan of his, but I respect him. I'm subscribed to him, and he's not a homophobic guy. You know, I say homophobic slurs all the time as well, but it doesn't mean I'm homophobic. It's part of joking. It's part of language. You gotta learn to take a joke. And this guy, one of the first tweets that he tweeted out throughout this whole thing, one of the first tweets that started it, was him saying that I'm normally thick-skinned. Well, if you're thick-skinned, get over it and move on. If this is the thing that you have to point at, the fact that he's making fun of you on these things here, these things are actually about you, and you can't go and rebut his arguments. You haven't done that once. You haven't rebutted any of the things that he's brought up. Then it goes to show that, you know, you want him out of the way for at least that reason. I think there's other things, and we'll get around to that a little bit later in this video. So anyways, says, despite his repeated homophobic slurs directed at Maza in videos posted to YouTube, Crowder has routinely over the course of years made derogatory and mocking remarks about Maza's sexuality and ethnicity while making videos attempting to debunk the Vox video series Strike Through. That's within Vox, Carlos Maza has his own headlining show called Strike Through. And Crowder also sells a t-shirt on his website, an image of which is also his featured Twitter banner photo that features it doesn't feature a homophobic slur. It says, I'll continue, that features a homophobic slur with one letter omitted. Okay, that's correct, but it's not a homophobic slur. It's just, it looks like it is. Crowder supporters have since fashioned a version of the t-shirt specifically targeting Maza. Let's see what that is. I haven't even had a chance to look at that. This is what happens. Okay, so Carlos Maza's Twitter. This is what happens when YouTube doesn't enforce its anti-harassment and anti-hate speech policies. Victims are forced to speak out on their own, opening them up to an avalanche of additional abuse. In case you are wondering what happens when YouTube lets blah 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 blah. Let's see this picture. Carlos Maza is a F***G. Dude, take a joke. Again, if you're thick-skinned, if you're online, you're gonna get the shit. I get the shit all the time as well. I probably don't get it in the capacity that you do because you're more a figurehead and you have a salary from Vox and whoever owns Vox. So, I mean, obviously it's gonna be a little different for you. At the same time, dude, I don't really give a shit what people say about me. I mean, if you start giving a shit here, you don't. I really think that you don't. You just basically want to push somebody out of the woodwork here. So anyways, it's pretty funny. It's a pretty funny shirt. The statements which Crowder likened to jokes and called harmless ribbing, it is. You can take it personal if you want to, but I mean, I've been called the F-A-G word in my face. I've been called, you know, effing homo and all this and that. And it doesn't bother me. Yeah, a couple years ago it used to, when I was as flamboyant and gay as Carlos Maza here. Again, I'm still gay, and but I can take a joke. And I don't give a shit how deep that joke is. You know, again, if you involve other people in it, maybe they'll all take an issue with it. But if you directly attack me with it, dude, bring it. I really don't give a shit. And that's how this guy is lacking the balls, the cojones to do that. The statements, which Crowder likened to jokes and called harmless ribbing in a response video earlier this week, were highlighted in a series of now viral tweets from Maza posted late last week, leading to immense pressure on YouTube to respond. Immense pressure. That's funny. And again, he just kept tagging YouTube throughout the whole Twitter response. The company eventually said it would look into the matter. However, after days of silence, the company now says it doesn't think homophobic and racist slurs, including Crowder calling Maza a lesbian, queer, and a gay Mexican. Again, observations. These aren't racist. These aren't homophobic. They're observations and they're jokes. So let's get back into the 80s when jokes used to be rampant about where anybody can make fun of anybody and we just lived with each other and got along just fine. Let's get back to those days. Not the days of this guy wanting to control the narrative. He's wanting to control the narrative here, but he doesn't want to control the narrative when it comes to him being able to say other things about other people all the time. Again, Tucker Carlson. Let's see. Lesbian, queer, and gay Mexican do not qualify as harassment. Notably, the company did not mention the phrase hate speech, indicating that it does not seem to classify Crowder's homophobic mockery as such. It's not. Our team spent the last few days conducting an in-depth, this is YouTube, an in-depth review of the videos flagged to us, and while we found language that was clearly hurtful, which is fine, hurtful can be fine, the videos as posted do not violate our policies. Reads a tweet published this evening from the official team at TeamYouTube Twitter account and posted as a reply to Maza's original tweet, highlighting Crowder's abuse. Again, it's not abuse. It's not abuse. People could say shit about me. You know what I do about it? I either look at it, laugh, address it, pin it, and I have other people attack that tweet or comment on my YouTube channel, or I ignore it. I'm just like, ah, that's pretty funny. And if they want to continue on, it's like, dude, you've got better things to spend your time on. You know, if you really want to make a difference in the world, you're not going to be focused on these attacks against you. Are you that self-absorbed? I mean, are you that egotistical? I mean, you are. You are. I mean, there was another tweet that Steven Crowder was addressing. I think it was not the Blaze. Sorry, because that's where he works. I believe that's where he works. God, I can't think of the publication off the top of my head. But they were saying pretty bad things about Steven Crowder, and you took it upon yourself to think that it was you that Steven Crowder was tweeting about. And it was just pretty funny. Anyways, again, you're that self-absorbed that you think that everybody is talking about you. Again, you're so vain, you probably think every song is about you at this point.
I'm a little attention whore, and I'm so proud of it. I'm a little attention whore, and I know you love it.
Okay, so as an open platform, this is YouTube continuing, as an open platform, it's crucial for us to allow everyone, from creators to journalists to late night TV hosts, to express their opinions within the scope of our policies. Read the follow-up tweets from YouTube, adding that opinions can be deeply offensive, but if they don't violate our policies, they'll remain on our site. Great, that's how it should be, and I'm glad that they're not bending on that rule. I'm glad that they're not bending on that stance, because that is that little avenue of free speech that we have, where we're able to just joke and say things. Again, if Carlos Maza got his way, this would have a lot of ramifications for us all around. You would have to be tiptoeing on a lot of things from here on out. Whatever you say online, and again, this goes for both left and right and all in between, and the extremes of each side as well. It goes in all spectrums. So it's not just people like Steven Crowder. It would directly hit back at him later on down the line if he was to push this narrative. So yeah, YouTube made sure to clarify in one final follow-up tweet that even if a video remains on our site, it doesn't mean we endorse or support that viewpoint. Exactly. YouTube has policies, they have terms of service, but just because we're able to post all these differing opinions, again, my opinions as a gay minority, much like Carlos Maza, since we're both of the same background, him and I differ completely in ideology. We differentiate completely when it comes to understanding our individual understandings of what the world is for us and how we look at things offensively or not offensively. YouTube here, they don't have to endorse my viewpoint, Carlos's viewpoint, Steven Crowder's viewpoint. They don't. They remain neutral throughout everything. And granted, YouTube has a lot of issues with its advertisers. It has a lot of issues with MSM. It has a lot of issues that push a lot of us back. Me as a content creator, my channel doesn't grow that fast. I've made a lot of videos, over 200. I don't grow that fast. A lot of my stuff is taboo. I am okay with that. I don't care. I don't profit off of it. I see my subscriber count go up and down. I really don't mind. If somebody wants to stay on my channel, that's great. If they don't, and my content is very either risque or they disagree with me and they just don't want to hear my voice about it anymore, that's fine as well. I respect everybody's opinion and views on that. That's why this channel is called That's Just My View. I don't cater to just one chain of thought. I have a lot of differing opinions, and sometimes they change along the way. Depending on times and things that I find out later on down the line about certain subjects, I might change my mind about certain things. But YouTube, considering that it's just a platform, it shouldn't hold its ideologies strictly to one side or another, is playing it right here. And I'm glad they made this decision right here on this. And again, Carlos is still banging on the doors here. Okay, so the company says it's still evaluating Crowder's channel for other violations, although it is not clear what aspect of the investigation is still pending. Nobody's gonna know. I mean, I think YouTube will probably not contact him for a couple of days. By that time, this is gonna be old news. It's gonna be Carlos Maza attempted to take Steven Crowder, destroy his channel, and then he was trying to play the victim, saying, oh, but if his channel goes away, all of his fans are going to be basically blaming me for it. Well, yeah, of course, dude, yeah. And I think that that's probably part of your plan, but I also think that you had a different agenda as well. Anyways, notably, YouTube did not say who on its teams conducted this in-depth review, how many people were on those teams, what content they reviewed, or how they applied YouTube's policies and rules to evaluating that content, and if this decision was made unanimously by those teams or approved upon a chain of command. Instead, the company chose to reply to Maza on Twitter. We'll talk about his response in a bit, but it doesn't matter at this point who those people were on those teams. I mean, they got to the conclusion that was correct. It seems like finally they have an unbiased team. You know, the stuff that Now This puts out, you know, is pretty offensive as well, and it could be offensive to people on the right. It could be offensive to people who are white. It could be offensive to other people like me as a minority who supports people who are being victimized right now, and in essence, in this case, white people. I get offended when my fellow minorities are trying to attack other groups because of just because of skin color, or because of their background, or because of their ancestry, I should say, not their background. And it's detestable. I mean, you see this tweet recently with this lady, a black woman, who posted a picture of, you know, I forget what you call those things in the shopping cart, those dividers that you put to separate your products that you're buying at a grocery store, an aisle. Anyway, she got offended that a white lady in front of her put a divider. The white lady put her products in front, then she put the divider down, so that way the black lady behind her, I should just say lady in this case, but she was a black woman, so she can put her stuff down as well. In the tweet, the lady said, I looked at the lady, gave her a hard stare, and rolled my eyes. And I'm like, really, lady? Really? I mean, you really think this is offensive? What people classify as offensive is just, it's insane these days. And what we got to go back to is tact. What we got to go back to is just an understanding of what real victimization is, what real plight is. You know, we don't face that these days. If you're getting pissed off at somebody putting a divider out of courtesy, when you know they're being courteous, you're being disingenuous if you think that they're not. When they're putting a divider there to be courteous so you could put your stuff there, you have issues. You have a lot of big issues, and there's a lot of people out. I mean, that person probably doesn't even care about what's going on in Libya regarding the slave trade with other black men, you know, castration and all. So you don't care about that. You care about the privilege that you're able to get here. You're able to care about the faux outrage that you're able to create here. It's disgusting. I mean, we have no valid movement in this day and age that is actually worth a damn. Again, as I say countless times in my videos, movements don't work for the most part. There are very rare movements that actually do work, and those movements that actually do work, they have an expiration date, and those expiration dates are when they start getting toxic, when they start looking at financial gains and motivation to keep their system alive. It's sad, and then people don't learn from that. People just continue on and on and on, and supporting these groups, again, from cancer research to LGBTQ. The categories don't end, and yeah, you know, YouTube has to make money. You know, it's got to make money, and for their advertisers, I'm going off the deep end here, so I'll just go ahead and stop on that. But I'll continue on here. I think we're just about done. Okay, so again, I said instead the company chose to reply to Maza on Twitter. In response, Maza said that he was stunned by YouTube's verdict. Whatever, dude. And you probably were stunned, but you probably thought you were going to get your way because it is Gay Pride Month. You're a gay man, you're a minority, you thought you had this in the bag. You don't understand free speech. On Twitter, he wrote, "I don't know what to say. At YouTube has decided not to punish Crowder, and after he spent 2 years harassing me for being gay and Latino." It's not harassment, dude. You chose to get offended by it. It is somebody being able to say something that they want to about other people. You do it so often with people like Tucker Carlson, with other people, with white people. Just a couple weeks ago, you had a tweet composed saying, you know, have those milkshakes ready, throw them at them, don't let them get away with their shit, you know, knock them down with these milkshakes if you have to. You were supporting harassment. How can you, somebody who actually is saying that you're a victim here, go on and promote other people to be victimized by the calls of action that you're delivering? Makes no fucking sense, dude. So get off your fucking high horse, get that ego out of your ass, and just start being a normal human being. Right now you're being a victim. You're choosing to be a victim. It's a fad that's going to eventually be going away here very soon. I hope it will be anyways. It seems like it's going on the wayside. But you're one of those people that tend to try to keep this victimization hood alive. So anyways, YouTube has decided not to punish Crowder, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what to say. Maza went on to say, to be crystal clear, at YouTube has decided that targeted racist and homophobic harassment, none of those things. Those statements were none of those things. That targeted racist and homophobic harassment does not violate its policies against hate speech or harassment. This guy doesn't understand what it is. No, he does understand what it means. He does understand what real racism and real homophobia is. And he's trying to trick the system to get an adversary out of the way. That's all it is. He knows that this isn't harassment. He knows that it's free speech. You're able to say and do these things. He knows this. That's an absolutely batshit policy that gives bigots free license. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people at Vox who are higher ups, people who coordinate with them, are having them compose a lot of this stuff, so that way it's tactical, it's organized, and they're able to try to do whatever they can with their words to actually get Steven Crowder deplatformed. I mean, we had this happen. We just had today, June 4th, Google decides that within its homepage, you know, they had a LGBTQ banner, and it went through the history from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, blah, blah, blah. It went through the whole years, and as you went on and clicked, you can look at little depictions and images, and you can see NAMBLA. You can see NAMBLA in at least 3 of the images. At least that's what I found. I've recorded the whole scenario, so I'm going to kind of go more slow-mo later on down the line. And then hopefully by the end of the week, or maybe in the weekend, I'll be able to post a video outlining what I found within this. Again, the gay community, the LGBTQ community or states publicly, a lot of people in there say, oh, we don't approve of NAMBLA and whatnot. Yet you have, you know, little kid drag queens like Desmond is Amazing and the other kid and a growing number of them. You have them make social media sites on the side just for children, supposedly. How are you going to monitor that? How is a kid going to coordinate that without adults acting like children? It's going to be easy predatory availability. You also have, you know, adults going out and having relationships with children, and you're promoting this on BBC. You're promoting it on, I forget what the news outlet was, but this guy who said he was I don't know what the phrase he used was, but he loved kids, but he said he would never have sex with them, that he just imagined this stuff, and that he was abiding by the laws. You have this going out in the mainstream, and secretly the LGBTQ community is testing the waters. They want to see if it's going to be a viable option for them to actually profit off of and allow to be within the group, you know, into the LGBTQ pie community, and go from there. You know, it's disgusting. I'm so glad I'm out of the community. I am a gay man. I don't need no community to tell me how to be a person and what kind of person I need to be. All I need is just myself. I need myself, my partner, my family. That's all I need. I don't need no fucking group that's going to be profiting off of the things that I don't even stand for anymore anyways. You know, there was an expiration date with that group, and the expiration date was a couple years back when, yeah, you know, we've gotten to the point where we've gotten civil unions. And granted, there might be not a lot of states that recognize this. Fight for those, but you don't need the LGBTQ community to do this, especially when it's going to be so toxic that it's going to be involving, it's going to be including NAMBLA, or I think there's another acronym that they go by now, into their fray. So do you really want to be part of that disgusting generation at this point? Look, I believe I believe that as a gay person, there's nothing wrong with it. I do believe that there is everything wrong with trying to take advantage of a minor. Again, as I mentioned in my last video, I've been a victim of that myself in my childhood. A lot of gay people have, and it's nothing fun, you know, and I don't wish it on any kid. And for me to be a gay man coming out and saying this, I'm pretty sure it's surprising to a lot of people that some gay people don't support that. I don't. You know, no. Consenting adults is what it is. You know, you consent with other adults, and you know, you can go have fun, go have gay fun or lesbian fun or whatever, furry fun, whatever it is, with other adults, but do not involve kids in it. I mean, you're taking away their sanctity. You're taking away their pureness, and that's theft. And there's you know, you can call it what you want, NAMBLA, you can call it what you want, but in the end it's blasphemous when it comes Again, if you're religious, if you believe in the eyes of God, this is going to be very blasphemous for you to try to twist your tongue into redefining what this relationship means with you and a kid. Again, the kid doesn't have a say. The parent does until that kid is old enough. Until then, you're basically somebody who should be put on a national registry if you actually do try to take action on it. Anyways, I'm on my rant there. But going back to this little gay lisper, Carlos Maza. Okay, if you're, he asks on here, he also pointed out the hypocrisy of YouTube celebrating LGBT Pride Month by changing its Twitter avatar photos to ones referencing the rainbow flag and promoting a YouTube-financed original documentary called State of Pride. Carlos Maza, this is a picture of his tweet, says, if you're an LGBT creator, YouTube is using you. They're trolling you out to convenience advertisers, and their platform hasn't become a breeding ground for hate speech and bigotry. It doesn't make any sense. I might be reading that wrong, but go back and read that tweet if you can. They're hoping you'll distract advertisers away from the monsters they're creating. I don't know what else LGBTQ people are supposed to do. I compiled the clips for them. I sent them everything, publicly begged them to pay attention. It's never enough because YouTube does not give a fuck about protecting marginalized people, and it never has. Again, it's a business. It's a business. It's not a policing agency. They have terms of service. He has not disobeyed them. He has not broken them. He has a great attorney that is able to look at all the information, work with YouTube. Yes, he has a big channel. It could be that is also an issue as well. He has 3 million subscribers to your Vox's 6 million. So I mean, there's a lot of things here, but in the end, what it comes down to is, hopefully this is what the conclusion is with YouTube, is that there's a right and there's a wrong, and they looked at it and there's nothing, words. If you want to take offense to anything, that's your fucking problem. You're trying to have YouTube be the police of this stuff. No, what you need to do is you need to hire a freaking counselor, a psychiatrist, to see if you can get over that bullshit. That's your personal problem if you're still being a baby on that shit. Look, it's been years for me, and I'm over it. So get over it yourself. Okay, so Google and YouTube both have numerous policies regarding harassment, bullying, and hate speech, yada yada yada. As private companies, they also retain the right to suspend or ban users from violating these policies using its three-strike system. I'm not going to read those. You guys all know them if you're a content creator. Maza says since Crowder began targeting his strike-through series and including homophobic and racist slurs in his commentary, that he's been subject to innumerable personal attacks on Instagram, Twitter, and other personal online channels. He was also doxxed, with his phone number posted online and his text flooded with messages to debate Steven Crowder. Again, dude, those aren't the actions of Crowder. You're going to always have shit like that happen. If you're able to go out there, if I'm able to come out here and do my own stuff, I'm expecting this kind of stuff to happen to me as well. Eventually, sooner or later. This is why my views, I try to, I express my views. I have no shame in my views. Everybody around me knows my views, and I'm okay with it. But again, you're just kind of at a loss here. You're not winning this argument. In the past week, Maza says he's experienced extreme harassment for even speaking out about Crowder's harassment. Again, dude, it's called being online. Can I introduce you to the internet, please? Okay, just yesterday, Maza was doxxed again on the far-right message board, 8chan. And, let's see here. It's a lot going on here. I didn't know this article was going to be that long. But let's go to the bottom here. Let's go to the very end here. So we'll look at the statement. There's a full statement from Vox Media. At Vox Media, we have embraced partnering with other organizations to bring our work to as broad an audience as possible. We believe in the advantages of a free and open web that allows people to find their voices online. Yada, 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 yada. But the platform, YouTube, and the system now appears to be broken. In some ways we can't tolerate. By refusing to take a stand on hate speech, they allow the worst of their communities to hide behind cries of free speech and fake news, all while increasingly targeting people with the most offensive and odious harassment. Again, you're just not able to take it. You're just not able to take it. And more importantly, you're not able to dish out a response to the arguments that he has per your content. Per your actual arguments that you say it takes 4+ weeks for you to build up. I've never seen you rebut any of those. Sounds like you know that he's right and you're just trying to look for an excuse to get one of your adversaries out of the picture here. I'm moving further down. YouTube knows this is a problem. It's developed anti-harassment policies to hold its creators accountable and remove them from the platform when they are in violation. Yet YouTube is not enforcing those policies and are not removing known and identified users who employ hate speech tactics. By tactily looking the other way, it encourages this behavior and contributes to a society more divided and more radicalized. No, you're trying to divide it by having him removed from the platform. That's dividing. You want an echo chamber. That's division. Can you guys not see that? Why not have your adversary? Why not go one-on-one with Steven Crowder with the views that you have? Go ahead and call him names like you want. You know, you can call him a white supremacist like you call Tucker Carlson a white supremacist. Fair is fair, buddy. I mean, if you want to go that route, he can go that route as well. It should be equal in all avenues there. YouTube must do better and must enforce their own policies and remove creators who promote hate. No, hate speech is not a crime. Hate speech is free speech, and we all know this. So, long story short, Carlos Maza, you need to grow a pair. You need to grow some thick skin. You need to get rid of that lispy voice. Again, as a gay man, I'm seeing that as a joke. Nothing wrong with your lispy voice. I think it adds to your character. And anyways, overall, I think you have issues. I think that you need to start understanding that you do not know as much as other people do. You should be okay with that. I don't know everything that I talk about. You know, I give my opinions and I learn along the way. There's nothing wrong with that. Steven Crowder is out leveling you when it comes to understanding of a lot of topics that you supposedly are the expert in for Vox. That you supposedly make videos that are chock full of information when they're not. You know, they're easily doxed. I've watched some of your videos. I mean, a lot of your videos, no, you have a lot of hyperbole. There's a lot of things that you don't really go in depth on, and I'm not sure what the issue is there, but it sounds like you're just not good at your job, and you're very embarrassed about it, and you want to take somebody out because of it. That's just part of it. That's all I got for today. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Are you going to back up Steven Crowder here, or are you going to back up Carlos, the lispy boy? Anyways, like, hate, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Peace out.
Yeah. So look at me, talk about me, think of me. Do you like what you see? Huh? Hey everyone, I know you love me, and even if you hate me, you talk about me. Hey everybody, I'm Roscoe. Yeah, I think I love myself. Ew, how ugly. Is that what you wear tonight? Oh, much better. Now I can let you buy my size. Oh, walking through the city, everyone is watching. Wow, what a great feeling. Totally. Oh, I hear they talk about me. They are so jealous. I know they like what they see. Yeah. I'm a little attention whore, and I'm so proud of it. I'm a little attention whore, and I know you love it. So look at me, talk about me, think of me. Do you like what you see? So look at me, talk about me, think of me. Do you like what you see? Wow, I fixed my hair. It looks so fabulous. Oh, you tried it too, but it's not your skill. Oh, dressing in light blue is what I love. So I take my shirt on and yeah, I walk through the club. Everybody's watching. Oh, what a great feeling. They are so jealous. I know they like what they see. They do, they do, they do. I'm a little attention whore, and I'm so proud of it. I'm a little attention whore, and I know you love it. So look at me, talk about me, think of me. Do you like what you see? So look at me, talk about me, think of me. Do you like what you see? So look at me, talk about me, think of me. Do you like what you see? Oh, wait, where's my camera? I need new pictures for MySpace. Oh, hello, I look so hot today. That sucks. My MySpace friends need to comment to pictures. Whatever. I hope at least people in the city will see me today. Everyone should see me today. Everyone. Oh my god. Yeah. Watch me. Watch me. Look at me. Look at me. Yeah.